Hello there. You're welcome to Real Talk with iDeal. And friends, Real Talk serves a platform where people can talk freely and honestly about topics that have to do with life, love, and faith. Our topics are hot, relevant, unconventional, but most importantly, helpful, right? I am the host, iDeal, and I'm a Christian, and I will navigate these conversations with you along with some of my friends. And where we need to put some context, the context will be the gospel. So we're excited that you are here watching this video, and we want you to sign on the link so we can give you more information how you can join the live show and make your contributions and even share topics with us and give us your feedback. We will be excited for you to join us and just be honest and share, and so that we can learn from you as well. So thank you. Enjoy this video. Thank you.
We don't have so much time. I'm going to ask the guys a question. And
yes, I have a question.
I wanted to ask the guys a question. I don't know if you can. Okay, just quickly give a question. I want to ask the guys a question and the ladies a question from my question. There are many fantastic questions that we haven't put up. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So, my question is about sexuality, right? So, to the ladies, if your guy was more active sexually, would you be okay if he went out if you couldn't satisfy him?
Huh? As in, he went for a walk, or like he went out to where? I don't guess. Honestly, I don't guess.
The question, no?
So your guy is more sexually active, right? And you know that you cannot meet up or match up with that energy. Would you be okay if he cheated?
Is it okay to even go and cheat to start with?
Wow.
Allow him to.
The answer is no.
The answer is, I think, okay.
Or you can't satisfy him.
Work out. I will come up, you come down. We'll find a balance. We'll find a middle ground. We'll both work on it. Both of us. Yeah.
Any other ladies want to jump on that? Oh, that's perfect, right? Any other answer from the ladies?
Him too is not satisfying me, but I'm managing.
That's not the question. Are you giving your own situation or you are following the question?
My point is, the moment he says I'm not satisfying him too is not satisfying me. Just so we know we can. So I'm kind of I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Fire down.
I really don't believe in 100%.
So that's why I started with. I agree, he's more sexually active. Like you can't match up when you are in the room. The guys acrobatics
he's
and all.
Stallion type. Okay. You know, some guys. So this is how I think here. I think that sexual compromises have to be made, because I just feel like I don't care how much stamina he thinks he has in bed. What if I'm not the type that wants stamina? I just want slow move, and then he's not satisfying me too. Like, are you telling him? Is he permitting me to go? It's all discipline. There's even a more there's a more intense question to this one. So people that are one this is for like we singles, right? So you decide to use your hand and enter a relationship where you're celibate and you're dating someone who is sexually active. Is he allowed to, do stuff while pre-marriage, while you keep yourself, because it's not his fault that you don't want to do yet, that kind of thing. And last, my own is all sacrifice. If you decide to be with this person, you decide to go all the way with this person. I what if, okay, let me look at it the other way. Does it mean that if tomorrow I'm not satisfied with how my man is giving it to me and I say I want to go out, will he understand that I wasn't being satisfied? The answer is no. Like, nobody is going out. We'll be unsatisfied together in that bed. That's my own. That's no
I think. Let me ask you guys this question, right? Since you guys have jumped into this, although I don't even know if this was my question, but what do you guys think about sex before marriage? What's your perspective on that? What's your stand?
On sex before marriage.
Are we answering these questions?
This question is to everybody that has tools that they use for sex. Except you don't have. Then.
Let me answer.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't. So in an attempt not to sound like a hypocrite, right? I would say if you can avoid it, or if you can help it by abstaining till you get married, you should do that. That's my own. That's my own take on it. I've heard from married people that married sex is different from premarital sex. I don't understand what that means. I've never been married before.
But you know about premarital? Just asking.
I don't know.
Go ahead. I'm just joking.
Apparently, they say married sex is worship.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then premarital is praise or what? But fire down.
Yeah, but I've now started understanding the argument for saving that sexual experience for marriage. Yeah. So,
why? Any reasons for that? Any other person, or do you want Mr. 3? Do you want to say why?
So I feel like sex is something that puts you in an emotional state where you may have clouded judgment, if I can use that phrase. So when it comes to taking certain decisions, you might be biased because of that sexual relationship that you have, and especially when it comes to someone that if you're in a serious relationship and you want to settle down with that person, you need a certain level of clarity. So sex doesn't necessarily help when it comes to like decision making going forward. So that's my own.
I'd like one of the ladies to jump on this.
I thought Mr. One wanted to say something or two.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I?
Yeah. Any Miss Wang,
can I
say
speak?
something? Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm absolutely for the opinion that sex should be only in marriage. Like, now I know better. Now, if you're supposed to know better, that we should save it for marriage. But I wouldn't pretend like I don't get worried sometimes. Like, I don't care if we're keeping the sex for marriage. Somehow I should turn you on, Shines, in the courtship.
Oh wow.
I need to be sure that you're turned on. I just need to be sure that I turn you on. And how do you check? I don't know how we would. I believe in the actual. So we can be real, right? So I believe in the actual penetration being in marriage. Sorry, I'm not against some level of foreplay, right? And I feel like in the foreplay, I kind of need to know I'm turning you on, because I've heard of a lot of guys that use this celibacy thing and no sex for marriage to deceive innocent women into marriage, and then these guys are gay. I've heard of things like this before, and I'm just like, and then I asked the girl, like, really? And he, in the courtship, he was such a holy brother. Like, he didn't want to touch her. He was so it's a lie. He was just not turned on. And I kind of need to know that I'm turning my man on. I have the ability to turn you on, right? And I kind of need to know that I like the size of what is there, even if you're not entering me yet. This is my opinion. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is the truth. I will speak for myself. Is the truth, right? Because I'm really worried. Like let's get married and then let the battle be, oh, let me teach you how to flow. Let me teach you how I want to be touched. Tell me how you want to be touched. Let's worship together and let's not sing off key. Let's just blend together and worship God on the bed. But I kind of need to know that you have the right microphone and I have the right speakers. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, so that's my personal opinion and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I have somebody wrote glory, but do any of the guys want to say something about this?
Yeah, I
want to talk about it as well. So, yeah,
I think we've had this chat before, and first of all, I would say sometimes well, how do I put this without
podcasting yourself? Go ahead, bro.
Sex on its own is the act itself, right? It's over.
Sorry. Oh God.
Yeah, like sex on its own is overrated, and if we feel like we're seeking for something deep or something meaningful with someone, it's easy to have sex. It's easy. Like, I don't know how maybe I've lost touch of Nigeria for a while. Over here, it's like here in Canada, you could download an app, Tinder, swipe a couple of times. If you're a decent looking person, you have someone. If you want to sleep with someone, it's easy. It's easy. So, but I feel like there has to be a certain process, right? And it depends on your conviction or your relationship with God on the time you choose to have that sex. But I feel like there should be a right progression in which, first of all, get to know someone. Then after knowing the person, and knowing takes time. And I shared this podcast with Adalza. Like, there's a podcast about like why guys are jerks. You can ask Adalza for a podcast if you want to get to know like more details about this. So you got to know the person. Knowing takes time, and like, you have to spend time. Like there's a survey that says that on average, it takes for like relationships that last. It takes like persons to take about 90 days, like 90 hours each week to know themselves. So you have to spend that time. Like you have to invest. Then you have to trust the person. But if you think about, so it's knowledge. You have to know the person. You have to spend time with the person. Like you have to trust the person. You have to commit to the person. Then you become reliant on the person before you sleep with the person. Imagine if you haven't known the person first, then you skip all the way to sleeping with the person. Then suddenly you find out that, I'm having problems trusting this person, because let's be real here, you sleep with someone in the first days, you feel like, it wasn't that easy. What happens? Is this the way this person is? You ask yourself questions like that, or is this? You will never be able to know, because you're not in the person's mind. You don't know if that's the way the person is, or if that's not the way the person, if the person is someone else. So you can't know. So sometimes we skip the whole line and we jump all the way to sleeping with the person when we haven't known the person, we haven't even trusted the person. And sometimes then you slept with the person, there's no trust, then the person asks you, what are we now? And you're like, I'm speaking on. So you're like,
Mr. One, do you believe in sex before marriage? Are you going to?
Well, he's obviously telling you he doesn't mind.
No, we want to be clear. We just want to be clear. No, we don't. In as much as we love the lecture, we would want to just be.
So, in terms of if I believe, and I'm saying this might sound really, really, really. Well, it depends on what you say by belief, though. Like, I feel like it's not the. Yeah, I mean, it's not the right thing, because it's at the end of everything you find out that it messes up especially for people who have slept with multiple people, right? It messes up your perception about like being with someone. You have different expectations. So I would say it's not. So the question is, believe what you think is right. Is that what's the right question here? Is it belief or what's right?
You believe is the question.
Let me. Oh God, you understood what I meant by sex, but you didn't understand what I meant by belief. Isn't that not interesting? Anyway, let me jump in here, right? I mean, this is a question that will always come up because I think it's a question that has to do with people are worried about trust. People are worried about compatibility. It's actually a question of compatibility, and a question of people want to be sure, right, of the future. But what I would say here is, I believe in sexual commitment, not sexual compatibility. Yes. Sexual commitment talks about seeking to please, seeking to understand each person that you're with. Now, of course, I don't believe in sex before marriage. So that means that I believe that, you should desire to, in that marriage, seek to please, seek to understand that body, seek to understand that person, right? You don't have to test. You don't have to test. I believe that there are ways. If you just like the process Mr. Wan said, if you take time to really know, like for instance, there are questions we're asking here these are questions that will really make you know how somebody thinks. And if you spend time, you spend time, some people on the first date, third date, they've already slept with the other person. I mean, that's going to really, I'm sure we all agree that blind. So if you take time to know people before you trust people and before you rely on them and before you commit to them, and when I mean commit, I'm talking about, of course, the greatest commitment a man can make to a woman, well, is marrying her, and loving her forever. So if we keep to that person, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm excited about this talk show, because the truth is that even some of the spectators, some of these things, we don't ask ourselves these questions. We don't know what we think about these things. We don't take time to really get to know ourselves and the people that we want to be with. So I think, for me, sex before marriage is not something that I would want to do. I mean, if even statistics show that.
Yes, I have a question for you.
Fire them.
But
thank God, time has gone. We'll soon close it.
If you're dating someone and your partner wants sex, what are you going to do? You're going to deny her?
Or him?
That's a very simple question. That's a very simple question. And like if we really, and when I say no, I mean no in terms of
what the values.
Yes, like I know this person, and I'm not. There's a level of knowledge I will know before I jump into the relationship. I'm not even talking about marriage now, and that's why we should understand it. I mean, dating does not necessarily mean that I've committed to you. Like dating, get to know people. If I take time to know somebody before I jump into the relationship, which is another deeper level of knowledge, before I jump into courtship and jump into marriage, which is if I do that, I would know that this is the kind of the kind of value that she has. So,
but I don't think that you it's okay to just tie a person's value to their sexual drive. Someone might be coming out from a relationship where sex wasn't a problem, right? And then this person ticks your boxes. Spiritual sister, because these things happen in church, but we shy away from them. Spiritual sister, I'm talking pastor in fellowship, but sister needs sex. So her values are on check, right? But she needs sex. How do you handle it? Because it happens. Do you get? So this values on point. She understands the tenets of the Bible. She understands what the Bible says. But this is a hunger she has, right? You know,
you have given perspective now. And you have given perspective now. I understand. You have given perspective now, which is good.
So what would you do?
Okay, Mr. 3, jump in before I give my perspective.
All what we're talking about right now is an ideal situation, and Mr. 2 is talking about like real life, right? I feel like
he's right.
It's the truth, right? So and I feel like when you're in a relationship with someone, and you work with like the situation that you have, you know. So both of you should be able to come together and like resolve that issue. If it is irreconcilable in a situation where someone wants sex from me and my own personal value is not to give it up, then that's an irreconcilable situation. I don't know if you understand.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Go ahead, Miss Wong.
Okay, so this thing is realer than theory. Do you get? The times when, especially if the sister or the brother have been sexually active before the decision to go celibate, right?
Yeah.
And the times when the both of you genuinely go into, I speak for myself, right? So I am obviously of the opinion to wait before marriage, but I'm not a virgin, right? So which means I have been sexually active in the past. And there are times when cold catch somebody. It can be me, it can be boyfriend, right? And on the days that I'm cold, all I'm praying is, guy, be hot. Do you get? Like, I'm not unrealistic to the fact that we feel the way we feel in certain times. There are things that people put into place. Like, we can't really be in a room together. I mean, I've had conversations with people. One pastor, even because I was dating this guy, right? And we were going to take a trip, and he just kept both of us worried for the longest period. Like, are you sure this trip is worth it? We'll travel to a strange land and just be there. We don't have friends. We say it's vacation. Should we go? Should we not go? And this was the first time I was traveling with a guy where it's my decision making, right? This was the first time he was making decision with me. So it's like we're just two clueless fishes going into the ocean. And we talked to pastors, right? Some said, oh, you guys can go, let's not be unrealistic, you know, just make sure that you get hotel rooms with twin beds, just make sure that you have your socks on. I don't know how that socks thing was. If you wear your socks, it's harder for you to. But the point is, end of conversation is, on the days when, in my opinion, I always say
different rooms. You say twin beds.
It's not twin beds. That's a different room. So, is it your money? Where the room? Anyway, so the bottom line was on the days, no, because obviously this trip didn't happen anymore. I just felt like, you know what, this trip, we already saw the doom coming. We're just too helpless. We just say, no, let's just cancel this trip. But my point was, my focus right now is, I probably would go into a relationship with a guy who even if definitely he would agree to wait with me, right? Like, I won't even go into a relationship with somebody who's not ready to wait till marriage. Because am I now saying that you should go outside or you should be touching me every single time we're together? No. But if we decide to do this and you genuinely want to do it with me, it doesn't automatically mean that you have the strength to hold on. Or because sometimes I talk to teenage girls about this thing, and I always tell them, don't talk to me thinking that I don't have so perfect in this. I don't call my name. You're so perfect in this thing. You don't know how to do this. That's not how it works. Do you get? So the most important thing for me is, on the day where my body is doing me somehow, please be strong for me. Don't break up with me. Because on the day when your body is doing you somehow too, I'm praying to God that I would be strong, and I'll be like, no, let's wait. I won't break up with you. So can we just not think of heartbreaking this matter? Like, we are humans now. We struggle with it.
No, I think.
Please. No, guys. Sorry, I have something to say. Have you guys ever thought of a situation whereby this same guy saying, "Oh, let's not have sex till we get married and all that," and it gets to a point where he kind of like one day start feeling some kind of way, and you now start insisting that, but you said we shouldn't do anything, and he gets upset and he starts seeing you as, okay, maybe she's not the one, maybe she can't give me what I really want. in my trying times, she's
That's
not there.
manipulation.
I'm not doing
That's
this.
manipulation.
Do you
That's
understand?
very-
Like there are people, there are people like that.
Times like that.
Do you get? So
Yeah.
I for one have actually been in a situation where I've said no sex before marriage, and this guy's like, yes, let's do it. Church guy, Christian brother, always making an announcement to church. No sex before marriage. Yes, let's do this. And me, I kept to my word.
My
And we're sticking
God.
there. And I won't lie that there've been times where we actually felt like, man, we should just do this. We're human beings. We have feelings, for crying out loud, people of God. We have feelings. There are times like we'll be together. We actually, yes, we kiss, we do foreplays and all that. But there are times where if he wants to go further, we were like, okay. Now there will be times where this guy will come up and be like, man, I can't hold this anymore. Man. Let's go. And I'm saying, see, we have to stick to our words. And it got to a point where this guy is like, wow. So it has gotten to this point where, like what you said, it's manipulation. That's what it is. So for me, I actually feel like what it also said, for dating, within that period of dating, you really need to know. You need to know that you get to the point of where you can say, okay, this guy can actually start there and not be manipulative. A lot of people can be manipulative. Some girls can even start crying and say, oh, you don't love me. Or now to touch me, you cannot touch me.
I have a question. Right? If I understand the original question well, that's like, what do we believe? And from what I'm hearing, most of us believe that we should save it for marriage. Now the question, I think Mr. Two, what he was asking is
it's like, how do you go about it?
What would you do if the person who ticks all your boxes is now saying this or
exactly?
Believe,
yeah,
right?
he later clarified it that's what it means. This is what I'll say. Let me just. I think that we should be real. I mean, there's nobody here that has not made mistakes or done what is wrong. But the truth is that we should not use I think that we should not use our mistakes or our shortcomings to
determine what the right thing is.
Yeah, exactly, to determine what the right thing is, or to say, oh, this is the way it goes. No, I don't think that's the way to go. And I also think that there are ways we can help ourselves, right? And that is still part of the knowing. Like, for example, someone talked about manipulation. That is you now knowing that this person is like this. Some people jump into, and that's what I'm saying. When you jump into relationship and get into commits and get into touching before knowing, you that's why you are confused. You're like, no, sometimes a relationship does not work. It means that you knew this person well enough that you cannot date the person. But because you have committed and touched, you just feel like, okay, how do I now do this manipulation? Let's just continue. So I think we need to just take some steps back and say, okay, you know what? How do we go about this thing right now? All right, so guys, time has been fast spent today. I really want to make sure that we keep the time. Although I know we didn't start by 1. I have some more questions. I don't know whether we can push. We didn't start by 1. I don't know if we can push to 10 more minutes. We can push like 12 more minutes to the 30-minute hour. Is that okay with you guys, spectators? And is that okay? Can we push 12 more minutes, or we can call it a day? Because
I'm fine with moving.
I'm fine with pushing. Yeah.
Hello, I do.
yes.
I do.
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, Mr. Two, I can hear you.
Hello?
I hope you don't have any other question.
So I do. Just before you leave off that question, right? I want your final standpoint, because I feel that. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mr. Two. Go ahead. I can hear you.
Yeah, I feel that we're having like double standards here. If I can foreplay, why can't I have sex? I feel like we're having. If I'm abstaining, let me abstain. Do you understand? So I think let's have a point. Let's stand in one place.
Well, what I'll first say is that nobody has put any standard. Everybody's just sharing their own perspectives. But for me, what I would say about that is, I'm not a man of
Really. That take
Wait, I'm just joking. Okay, but
Wait. I also have a question for number 2. So number 2, you're telling me now
you
that
guys, oh god,
okay.
these guys. Okay, go
Wait.
ahead.
Wait, number 2,
Telling me now
Mr. or Miss?
what the conversation is
Mr.
about.
number 2. Mr. number 2.
I'm beginning. I don't even know what this conversation is going
I
about.
do.
Okay,
I
so
do. Wait.
Miss Three, go ahead.
Wait.
Okay.
I'm asking number 2. So you're telling me now that if we're saying abstinence, that you can actually kiss your woman that you're supposed to spend the rest
He's
of your
asking
life
the question.
Not the erotic kiss.
Okay. So let me put more perspective to it. Miss 3.
Yeah.
So the truth is, all the structures you put around saying we shouldn't be in the same room together and all that, they help. The moment you break one, trust me, you're going to eventually have sex. The moment you start saying, okay, let's do only kiss.
No.
I don't think so.
I disagree with
We
you.
said, let's do only kiss. Let's do only foreplay.
Now,
A day will come and you won't be able to resist the main event.
Mystery. Oh my god. Mystery, let me just try and round up this question for you. At least you directed that question to me. Well, see what I will say, right? I know that many of us believe that, like I said, our experiences have made us, think this healthy, like from clap, you will enter dance and all of that. I believe that you can help. I believe that you can help that lady, right? But let me tell you, I've actually been in a relationship where, yes, I made mistakes, but I was able to retrace my step. It wasn't the end of the day. The thing is that many times we always defeat ourselves and say, you don't finish. And I just feel like it's the lie of the devil that just tells you that, you know what, you don't cast, you just stay casted. And
Just stay casted.
Just stay casted. Do you understand? But really, that's not really the way. That's not really the way to go. I believe that if both people can set those standards, and really it has to be mutual. It has to be mutual, and people have to help yourselves and no manipulation. So I'm going to leave that now. I want to run to another question.
yeah, let's move
Please.
ahead.
So I want to ask the guys this question, right?
Okay.
Why do you guys think that most guys have a problem with dating a girl that has kind of, let's say, more achievement or earns more money? Can you be with a lady that earns more money or seemingly has more societal success? Oh, the silence is deafening.
I didn't know that so I personally, like, I haven't dated anyone who's like extremely well to do. I have not been in that situation, so I don't exactly know how it feels, but I don't think I would have any issues with it. I've dated people who were richer than me, but it wasn't like I wasn't able to provide for myself or provide for them when I needed to. And I've always rooted for the success of my partner or my girlfriend or whatever, because I believe that at some point, like, it's a shared success, even though, as in, I may not be the one in the limelight. I feel if you have a problem with that, there's an underlying insecurity that you have. Say that means that as a man, we should be able to be the head financially and all that, and that might be challenging to like deal with mentally. But if you do not have those insecurities, then it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
It's the one.
I feel like, as like for couples, when you're getting to know someone and everything, I feel in general, if you are given 120%, because sometimes we say, "Oh, I gave my best," but we know that's not all, or that's not. There's still some extra we could have gone. But as a person, as a man, if you're with someone who's more, by the standards of like society, she's more accomplished, right? And you feel like you've given 100% of all you have. Like you deep down, like you ask yourself when you're treated, I feel like you're totally fine with that. I think it's fine. Because I think every single person should be able to find the roles that they have to play or they can play, and they should find a way to fit themselves in. But only after you, like for a man, because I know it's easy for every single man here to say yes. That's why I'm being careful to outline this part. Because every man will be like, oh yes, like her success is my success.
Like that. I don't know that you've heard about that example of where the woman has a 4-bedroom and the guy is living in like a BQ and they get married and she's meant to would you move into her house?
For every single man, that's a challenge for you. Like that's where you should be like.
No, it's you, not single man. It's you now.
Well, for me, if I was in that situation, that would be a challenge for me because what's wrong with my brain?
But Josh, to be fair, right? There's life, and you might have given your 100%, but your time has not come. So it may not necessarily be your problem.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
You're satisfied that you have given 100%. Not even 100%, 120. Like you've done the most you can give, not even the most you can give. Once you've done the most you've given the most you can bear. At that point, and you're still at that, if it's still that, then it's totally fine. But if it's what I'm trying to say is don't because of that become lazy. Like some guy like, she's more accomplished than I am, and they just become lazy.
Okay. All right. I think I want to go to the ladies now. Let me ask the ladies. What I want to know what the ladies on this call. What do you guys really? What's your concept of? 2 questions for you guys actually. What's your concept of submission for the woman? The way the Bible says, how does that practically look like for you when you talk about submission? And what do you guys think about exclusive dating? When you are dating,
what's exclusive?
Exclusive dating is that okay? You are just dating one person.
Isn't what it is meant to be? What?
If you believe in that, yeah, exclusive dating is great. Mm-hmm. Then I want to know what is your some people don't believe in exclusive dating.
That you date more than one person at this age and stage.
Yeah, because they believe that if the person has not.
I get what you mean. Like you have more eggs in the basket just in case, that kind of thing, right? Is that what you mean?
Yes, that's what I mean.
I'm trying to get open. Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay. It's true. It's true.
And I also like to know what you guys think about
submission.
Mm-hmm. About the man being like the head of the home. That concept.
Okay. Well, let's stop there. Who's going? Who's going first?
Okay, let me go first. Submission should be a must, but it shouldn't be like being controlling and treating your wife or your partner like a maid, or treat her like she's trash, or say, hey, come here, or wash my feet, or do all of that. Submission means valuing your woman, respecting her, treating her equally, also listening to her when she says stuff as well. Submission as well can be several things. It's just all about you and the person understanding yourself, and that woman giving you 150% control, like acknowledging the fact that you are the man of the house, and that doesn't change. Even if she's richer than you, she's stronger than you, she can beat all the guys before you or whatever, she still needs to be submissive and respect the fact that you're the man of the house. Then being exclusive, that's a must. So before being exclusive, you have to go through the process.
Let me just jump in there. Do you think submission is just strictly for just for marriage? It's not. You don't see that in relationships.
No, it has to be in relationship. Submission has to happen in relationship first before you know that, okay, this guy I can, or before the guy can actually know that, okay, this woman respects me enough and she's submissive, then I can get married to her. Right?
I just want to know what you think. I'm not going to say anything about that yet.
Okay, for me, I think submission has to be from the moment you say, okay, I'm dating this guy, right? So from the moment you make it exclusive, it has to be there onwards in whatever ways. Now, submission can be different things. It doesn't, for me, I'm speaking for me, it doesn't mean I work so hard and I make my money, I go and give it to my husband and say, Baba, take his submission. No, sir. We're not doing that, sir. You know? So, one day, but no, sir. For me, submission is just respecting the man and, just basically understanding his values.
What does respecting the man mean?
Can I ask
practically?
Following up to that one, Delta.
Wait, don't worry, she has not finished.
No, just ask. Just go ahead.
Alright, so we know. Anyway, keep going.
Okay, so
I kind of guess the voice, so I don't know. I might be wrong.
Mr. Okay, no, let the ladies answer this question.
No, I just
No, you can ask. Please ask your question.
Get him ask.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm asking, so in terms of money, right? If a situation were, because in my perspective, 5 seconds, okay. In terms of money, do you think it's going to be easier for you to submit to a man if he earns more or if he earns less?
For me, I've actually dated a guy that I actually earn more, way more than him. It does not matter. For me, money is not the issue. Money is the problem. Like, I'm not dating you because of your money. I'm not dating you because you have money or whatever. For me, other values are more important to me than money. If I look at you, before I say I'm dating you, I have to look at you and know that, okay, this guy has value in the future. And it has a
potential value.
Money was really paramount, right, in the conversation that she was having. So that's why I was like, because it seems like we almost did not separate submission from financial submission.
Money. Okay. To be honest, I think that submission, I want to take a stab at both questions. Submission has a lot to do with respect. If I can't respect you, there's no way I'm going to submit to you, even in a relationship. Whenever we're talking marriage now, there's supposed to be mutual, in my opinion, there's supposed to be mutual respect and mutual submission. But then submission takes it to another level on my part, because not only do I have to recognize you as the person that I'm dating and respect that, but I also want to be able to recognize you as the leader in this partnership. And for me, that is submission.
Can I ask? Yeah, sorry, continue, sorry.
To be able to just say that this is a partnership, but this is my leader here. That's on that note. On the issue of exclusive dating, I'll be honest with you, I 100% believe in exclusive dating, but with age and time, I realized that it's not recommended, or rather, I'm seeing that it may not be the best thing for you to lock down on one person if the person hasn't officially locked down on you. In other words, I know I like you.
So what would be
I know you like
especially
me.
in this corona
What are we
period?
doing?
What do you mean by
Are you
lockdown?
dating me?
Is it
like officially saying this? No, officially having that this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend. If you're not official, if you guys just like each other and you just go out on dates regularly, that is not.
It has to be official both ways.
No.
That's a relationship before you talk about even it being exclusive.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm going somewhere. I'm saying, we like each other, but we're just going out every time, but we don't know if this one is my boyfriend or not. Like, we both know we like each other. And then there is him officially telling you, we are together, let's do this. Let's try and make this work. Let's see where this goes. Do you understand? Like, officially, that one is exclusive. And I fully support that. But not I just like you like me, let's just go out and eat. And then, locked in there. I mean, my friend, will you move around? That's my take. That.
Oh, okay.
If that's the case, there's so many people that like us now.
Someone had a question though. Someone was.
Yeah. What about the thing about submission in relationship or marriage?
Okay, okay.
Because I find out that a lot of ladies feel like, submission is just for marriage.
No, I think
no, it's not. It's both ways. Like,
It's also in relationship.
When the relationship is exclusive, for me, that's where I think like submission should start. When you're dating, like what she said, like I like you, we don't show what we're doing, we're not making it exclusive. I don't think I should submit it to you because there's so many other guys that are telling me the same thing, that they like me and stuff. So till it's exclusive, till I'm sure that you're the one, till it's locked down, that's when you can have all of my submission and respect, and it goes close from there to marriage for me.
Okay, so
can I say something?
Okay.
Okay, so personally, I feel like I'll start with exclusivity of relationships. I absolutely believe in, actually there's no to go there. I agree with what the last speaker said in terms of we're exclusive, but somewhere in my mind, I'm just here like, I honestly don't see myself absolutely pushing away other really good friends who, if you try to misbehave, can take your place. In terms of submission, because that's the one that is really is something that's always confusing. Even for me, I debate with myself in this thing. So for me, first things first, there's a level of submission that I keep for my husband, and I don't care if you give me one diamond ring worth £50,000. There's a level of submission that you're not going to get from me. Things like
that also means that there should be a level of love he should give to you as well. Do you agree?
No.
Yes, absolutely. No, absolutely. There are things that he should keep for. The thing that he should keep for his wife. She's not sure it's me. She keeps some things for his wife. The sexual love, keep for her. Me, the financial submission, I keep for my husband. So things like, if for example, I've had situations where I've had guys that'll be like, I don't think you should take that job. And you can imagine how I'm still single till now. And this human being that promised me marriage, that did not marry me, I said I shouldn't take this job because it's not XYZ, it's not ABC. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm just like, we're not yet there where I'm absolutely,
you have that kind of right.
I'm under your coverage. I still have my father. Until my father hands me over to you, I submit to him. If my father says sleep in this house, I'm not going to come over to your house. I submit to one person. The same way, if I marry you tomorrow and then and you tell me, babe, you're not going to see. I mean, we can argue, but I'm not just going to jump and say, I'm going to do this because my father said so. Automatically, I understand that you have authority over me. My father handed me over to you. Basically, that's something that has to do with like orientation, because that's how my family is. To be fair. So it's how we were brought up. I'm the youngest. I have like 9 elder sisters in front of me, all married, and I know what my father did when he was giving them out. So I know that it's to follow my own. For me,
yeah.
Okay.
All right. So my question is, your submission, is it by state? So he's my husband, I submit, or it is by right? So by right, I mean, so if his suggestion to you is right, it makes sense, would you say you wouldn't submit because he's not yet your husband? Or you submit even if his point is wrong?
So basically, if his opinion is right, I will not submit. I will call. I will agree because you're right. Submission for me is in fact that this thing you're saying might have been a battle, or I might have gone the other way if I had to independently make my decision. That's how I see submission. Do you get? I don't see submission as if tomorrow you tell me, babe, let's move to a bigger mansion. And after you, I'm submitting to you, my love. Let's move. No, I'm agreeing with you. Let's move. Buy me a Bentley. It's not submission. I agree. When it's submission is when the decision that naturally I would rather go the other way. Do you get what I'm saying? Or naturally, I would rather just do things my own way. But I have to consider that there's you in my life. For me, that's where submission plays a big role.
So question. Will will you move to the? Will you? So the question of the wife owning the four
The
flat.
BQ. Mm-hmm.
and husband
Okay,
owning the
you see
BQ.
this question. This question is very, very tricky
What will you do?
because
What would
let me
you do?
explain now. I'm going
In
there.
terms of
I'm going there.
submission.
Wait now, let me land. So this is my opinion about things like this. I don't like. I have a friend, right? I have a friend who dated a guy who was way financially lower than her on the ladder, right? And this girl said she was in love with this guy. She was in love, right? And they started dating, and now the guy is not. So they have kids now. They're not married, but they are co-parenting, right? And they have kids. And in my opinion, this girl is frustrating this guy. And why I'm saying she's frustrating me is because I feel like the guy is not trying. In the bigger picture, I can say the guy is not trying. But this guy is trying his best, maybe in his own category, because from the small that he has, he's giving her maybe 80%, right? So this is my opinion. If I'm going to date a guy who is earning lower than I am, if as in he didn't go, it's not as if we're dating or we're married when things went flat. Like I open my eye, he open his eye. I'm earning XYZ, you're earning XYZ minus 20, and you decide that we want to be together. I have to know in my mind that I will not frustrate this son of God by by demanding too much from him. Do you get what I'm saying? The same way him too that dated me there, they shouldn't get angry and tell me that, I'm spending too much on my Fendi bag. It's not fair. Do you get what I'm saying? So you won't tell me that it's now submission that, I should pull down because of him. But if this is a guy who believes, because for me it's all understanding. Do you get what I'm saying? It's all understanding. For some guys, submit. And another thing again is this thing called submission. I think it's such a vague word that sometimes doctrines
that's why I've been asking that what does it look like? Because even for the men,
But isn't it
It looks like a different. No, it actually looks different. It depends on, like what she said, orientation, cultural background as well. There are some people that actually come from a different perspective of life.
yeah.
Okay, so let me give a very open example. Sorry. So I have this uncle, and his wife and him, they have a special love submission relationship. So for example, for him, the only way his wife submits to him is the fact that she is the one that goes into the kitchen to make his food and dish his food and bring to him. That is weird, right? Like no matter what she does in this world, if he tells her, don't go out, she's like, babe, today is my girl's day out though. I'm going out though, as she moves. He sees that's normal argument between two people. For him, she's this guy. I don't know how this called themselves, guy and girl. She's my girl, she's my chick, you're my guy. We're just arguing on a normal basis. But the day she doesn't, I remember this because there was a particular day that I went to give him food, and this man refused to eat this food. And I did not understand for the longest period until she explained to me that your uncle sees that the day I don't give your uncle food, like I don't bring food on tree, like my husband, this is your food. He feels like I've grown wings. And that's the only thing that he sees as his wife is not submitting to him. If you come and say, she's not the African wife, she's not submitting, she does not call me Lord and Master, she does not do this, he's not seeing anything but that. Do you get what I'm saying? So at that point, that's the trigger of him feeling like his wife is not doing her job anymore. Maybe he understands her love language, so he knows how to show her that he still loves her. Do you get what I'm saying? So for some guys here, your own level of submission might be deep on things like submit your finances to me, submit your move with me to this small house. If I say yay, you cannot say nay. For other people, it'll just be like, it's as simple as, babe, if you want to go out and I say no, you can't go out, full stop. That's about it. The day you raise your voice at me, you stop submitting. No matter how we argue, no matter how I shout at you, the day you raise your voice, you have stopped submitting. So I feel like personally, with me and whoever my partner would be, I want to understand what your level of submission is. Let's understand if we're on the same page. Because the Bible just says submit and love. Then we not said defining submission according to different dictionaries.
No. I don't think that's what.
Can I jump in
So,
here?
Okay, I want to round up now. Okay, Ms. Stu, please, quickly.
Okay, so I mean, just going by what she said, I think it's important to say that taking tradition and arguments of the people that have gone before us, considering it is great. But I believe that when a man and a woman come together, they should create their own traditions, their own rules, and the things that apply to them uniquely. on the issue of submission, it's always such a big issue. Guys want girls to submit. Girls want to show that, hey, I only submit to you unless you do so and so. But I think that if two mature adults actually just come together, the issue and the question of submission shouldn't really be an issue. Just understand each other, create your own culture, create your own tradition together, and do what works for you. Honestly, that's my take.
Yeah, I think. Well, let me just say this. I feel like when the Bible talks about submission, it's not really about. I don't think it's something that everybody can have the way they understand it, but it's more about how they receive love and all of that. I get that, but I think when the Bible was talking about submission, it actually talks about in terms of headship or leadership. That's what it really talks about, and that's why I say when a woman sees submission, it shouldn't be vague to her. She should really ask herself, like, what does it really mean to submit? Like how does that practically play out, And I think what it just means is that you're going to have to follow this person's lead, at times where it may be nice and sometimes it may not be nice. And even the men, we need to really ask ourselves, it's a question I've been asking myself, what does it really mean when the Bible says you should love your wife? Like many times when we read that, it just means that I tell her I love you. It means that I tell her I'll buy gifts for her. But it goes beyond that. It has to do with forgiveness. It has to do with sacrifice. I think it's deeper than we really. Oh God, somebody's writing rubbish on the comments, but it's fine. Yeah, I'm sorry. I said this show, the reference only Bible, other religions in Kunko. But anyway, it's fine. But I just think that I want to bring the show to an end at this point in time. I think that one thing that I would like us to really appreciate here is that ability of really getting to know ourselves and know. I mean, if you're a believer or whatever your context is, I think it's important that we strive to really know what's the things that the context that we are in, the shared values, the shared hopes, shared dreams, I think one of the things I would like us to really remember is that concept of no more. Some of you have heard questions today that I'm sure, even me myself, there are questions that I have to really think about. The easiest question for me to answer out of all the questions today is why I'm single. That's just the easiest question. Right? But know more before you trust. Grow in trusting before you rely. Grow in relying before you commit. And when you have committed, which we have come to the point where we've said, oh, committing really should be marriage, and then you can touch and go ahead with other things. So I want to thank you guys for coming out, spectators, participants. I mean, this was lit. I really learned a lot, and I really appreciate each and everyone. So we want to be doing this. Just having opportunities to have honest, real conversations, no judgments, and we can really, really. I hope everybody was able to take something from this experience, and I hope that we would date better, would love better, and would marry better. This is not just a real talk for relationships and marriage. It could be anything, right? That people need to be open about, and it's not every time that we make up our faces. So if you haven't registered to the link, I would like you to register so that we can send you emails and let you guys know when these conversations are coming up. And also if you have ideas of how this should go, so that you can jump in and be a participant and contribute. This is not anybody knows it all thing. We're all sharing and we're all learning. So
hey there, thank you for making it to this point of the video. You have watched it. I hope it was good. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And let's get your feedback. Was it real? Was it too ideal? Whatever. We would like to hear from you, and get with your feedback, get your comments. If you haven't filled the link or subscribed to this channel, please do that. When you fill the link, we'll give you information how you can jump on the live show, make your contributions. We want to learn from you. We want to hear from you. Thank you for being here. Keep coming back. We will have some exciting topics for you. Trust me. Have a wonderful time. See you again.